Hello everyone, how are you? My name is Dino Pierrakos, family member and award-winning producer of the Laconiko extra virgin olive oil. I have brought you here on the southern coast of Sparta, Greece in Laconia on one of our olive groves. It is a very special and crucial time of year here in the spring, because in the springtime is when the olive tree starts to produce olives. I've been here, like I said, for a few weeks, overseeing and helping out with the cleaning, pruning, watering, and fertilizing of the trees, because as the tree starts to put on the olives, it starts requiring more and more care. Even though you can't see the olives yet, what you do see here are tiny, tiny little bright green bulbs that eventually flower. When they do flower, they get pollinated through the wind and by bees. Those flowers eventually fall off. When they do fall off, what remains are tiny, tiny little olives. Those olives throughout the spring, summer, and fall continue into fall, continue to bulk up and fatten up with that amazing award-winning quality olive oil that you have all come to love. So we will be posting more videos and pictures of the progress of those olives. I want to thank everybody for the love and support that you have given us, and keep on sharing us with everybody. Thank you.
One of the things that impressed me when I first met you is that you're such a devotion to keeping the temperature below 15 degrees. Now, how did that come about? Because that's very rare. I mean, I've met a lot of olive, and mostly it's around 18 degrees.
Right.
What made you bring it down to 15 degrees? Because that's significant.
Well, you know, for us, we've always been open-minded, and what has always been very important to us is to offer the absolute best we can in our product. Right. When we are working so hard to produce the olive oil that we produce, you're constantly learning, right? You want to become better, and you want to constantly improve it. So by accident, when we started competing at these competitions,
right,
we noticed that temperature reading. A lot of them were advertising on their website. They were saying, New York competition especially, they were like, oh, it's stored at 58 degrees. And we started doing some research on it. So like, okay, for them to be storing our entries at that temperature, it must mean something. So that's how it kind of started. And then
do you mean that the New York International Olive Oil Competition stored your olive oils at that temperature until they were judged, until they were tasted?
Yes, so that was yes, they have this special room. So slowly, so I'm like, okay, so this, we're constantly learning, and we're very observant.
Right.
So we're like, okay, and we had noticed that when we first started bringing our olive oil here, we started it in our basement, Tanasi. We started from our basement, and then obviously we discovered that temperature does play a role, especially when we started seeing it at these competitions. And then for us, it has always been our duty, once you discover something that can improve your product, it is our duty to protect it. We can't just ignore it any longer. So that has always been very big for us. So I always said, a lot of times I always said, man, too much information for us, it might be, is a bad thing, because once we learn about it, we have to implement it.
I see Dino.
If we know it's going to improve or make it better, we have to.
Right.
It is like our duty, because we can't ignore it any longer. We can't look at our customers the same if we know we could have done something better to take care of our product. And it just kind of evolved, and it has just become part of our standard now. We don't even think about it anymore. Now the only thing that we're thinking about, how fast can we get it to our facility so we can keep it at that temperature to protect our olive oil, and we can guarantee that we're going to offer this to our customers.
How do you manage to tend to your olive grove and to your business in Manassas and travel back and forth? I know you're two of you, so you spread it. But Dino, could you? Because I know you're coming to.
Yeah, that's a very good question. Well, there's the good thing, which you brought up. The good thing is that there's two of us.
Right.
So being that there's two of us, one can always be able to leave to go back and travel. We travel 2 to 3 times a year each person, to either go back to help maintain, to oversee, and or for the harvest, like they might do most of the times, goes back during the harvest time. Um, so the good thing is that there's two of us, so we're able to fill in where the other isn't, where the other needs help or needs filling in, and vice versa, and switch places, back and forth. The other thing is that we've, for the last 15 years, a very big help is, the family. It's a family, two families actually, that that we have taken, in part of Laconiko in a way, that they help oversee, our olive groves, and of course during the harvest they're part of the harvest. They play a very vital role for during the harvest, but throughout the remainder of the year they help to oversee, maintain, watering if needed, the groves, at the times of the year that we're not there to be present.
Yeah, but we've had to implement a lot of changes too.
For sure.
We've had to implement a lot of changes. It's not difficult. It's not easy to travel back and forth, uh, because even to produce the olive oil that we're producing, we've had to implement a lot of changes. So a lot of adjustments have to be made over there.
Mhm.
So a lot of our research that we have done, we've had to make sure that they're being implemented,
Right.
when we are not there. This is very, very important,
How do you
because
do that?
now we're
The olive grove. How do you do that?
by spending a whole lot of time in Greece.
And Skyping, seeing everything live with,
I
the
see.
families, showing us, hey, this is what's going on this week.
And communication is very big for us. Uh, I know when our father passed away, he was in charge of the olive grove management when we were here a lot of the time, because then 5 years ago our father passed away.
Oh,
So
yeah.
and now it has been, and then we wanted to implement a lot of our new ideas
Right.
that were very important to keep improving.
Mm.
And that also involves a lot of communicating back home when we're there present. We're guiding, giving advice on what is the next step. It's the traditional mentality of how things are being done to now a new standard.
Right. So you can
Uh,
see basically. Yeah.
Yes. So in the beginning, after when our father passed away, I mean, we were there 7, 8 months at a time, right? Retraining almost uh, the whole operation, because we knew we wanted to do things differently as well.
Right.
There's also a lot of limitations when with the way we used to do things, the old mentality with even our father, this is how you harvest, this is how you do things. And then we stepped in, and then we wanted to change the whole everything we would discover, we would want to implement.
Mhm.
So we were implementing a lot of new things.